Somebody help me understand why this isn't headline news. Like, why isn't this blasted all over everything that has a news channel or news anything? This is the senior Pentagon official who oversees the elementary school division being arrested for human trafficking.
Peace. AMV, African man born. Random rant of the day. On AMV TV. I want y'all to think about that clip that y'all just watched. The clip you just watched where the senior Pentagon division of elementary school he got arrested for human trafficking. Think about that. Think about why it's not on the news. You just think about that shit for just why it's not on the news. It's not on the news. It's not on major blogs. It's not blasted like you did R. Kelly and Diddy and all these other people. You know why? Because it's easy to blast R. Kelly and Diddy. Though they did what they did, and they're in trouble for what they did, and they deserve what they get, right? They don't blast white boys on there. He got the complexion for protection. Not gonna blast white boys. Matter of fact, y'all don't even feel like white people should get exposed for it as a whole, to be honest with you. So I don't know why a lot of people cry about it, because they've been doing it for a long time. All right? Where do you think black people get all that nasty, crazy, ignorant shit from? Where do you think they get it from? You think we just had that shit in our race? No, we didn't. And for those that don't know the history, they'll say, well, that's not true. Well, of course you think it's not true, because you don't know any better. I just want, and I'm not trying to knock the young man for exposing it, because he's making a point that there is a double standard when it comes to exposing certain people. While y'all busy saying that everybody was protecting these black folks for these things that they're getting prosecuted for and exposed for, y'all let the white people just get away, walk scot-free. This dude's getting arrested now. I bet you nothing's gonna happen to him. You know why? Because he has the complexion for protection. Now, in this day and time, he might get time for it. He might get punished for it. But most likely, you know what I mean? He's going to get away with a lot. And we need to understand why we can't be doing the same shit that white folks be doing in this country. We can't do the same shit. We can't be acting like we can get away with the same type of actions. We need to stop being inside their mind and start getting out of their mind and start doing what we need to be doing as a people. And a lot of us don't even know what that means. A lot of us don't even know what it is to reject a system that does not do anything for us. This system does nothing for us. You know what I'm saying? This is the same system that allowed slavery for 400 plus years. Plus, they will not create a law that protects us from racism. They will not create a law that betters our education in our cities, and we're supposed to be according to your speech, not your documentation. Your documentation says that we're not citizens, but your speech says we are citizens. The only reason why you say that is because of the taxation that you try to lay on us. You know what I mean? And then you try to fool us with a lot of different voting and all the voting rights. Like, y'all attacked the voting rights when Trump got ousted out of the office. Y'all was full effect. The government was in full effect of changing those voting rights for black folks, especially in those states like Florida, Georgia, Mississippi. You know what I mean? They brought back Jim Crow in, I think it's Jackson, Mississippi or some shit like that. Why do you think that this dude is not being blasted? Though he did the crime, though he's being arrested by his own peers, why do you think that that's happening? It's been happening. It's nothing stopped. We have to start paying attention to the fact that we have two different laws in this land. All right? And I'm not saying to accept it. Yes, we fight it. But how many people are really going to stand up together and fight? Y'all niggas can't even get along on what show to watch on TV or what friggin' money to split. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't even get along in relationships. Y'all can't get along with your parents. Can't get along with your children. Can't get along with... It's like... And I'm saying this because this is the things that distract us from actually fighting shit like this. You know what I mean? Back in the 80s, they had what they called the killer clowns. All right? And they used to go around and literally in Boston and chase little black kids, kidnap them, and then kill them. You know what I'm saying? This is what they used to do. Matter of fact, I just found out, what was I watching? They was doing that somewhere else in the United States. And they talked about that. And it was one clown. I think it was in New York. There was one dude going around, and he was a killer clown, and he was snatching up little kids. Same shit that they was doing in Boston, but it was a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes ended up getting killed by the street gangs out here. You know what I'm saying? In New York, I don't know what happened in New York. You know what I mean? But this is the type of shit that we don't pay attention to. We gotta look at the history and then understand how to maneuver and attack the cycle of it coming back around. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all are afraid to step up to white folks. A lot of y'all are afraid to say anything to white folks. A lot of y'all are afraid to even put them on blast for the shit that they do. They originated this nasty shit that they do. They originated it, and you don't care because you'd rather point out the black ones. And before you say, oh, you're making an excuse for the black guys, I've never made any excuse for the black guys. I'm just telling you that you focus on the black guys because you hate your own race. You looking for those problems in black men. You hate your own men, and there's not one person that actually thinks that way can tell me different when I can hear it out your speech. You hate your own. So therefore, you're not going to expose the ones that actually originated the damn action. They was doing this on the slave ships. They was doing this because we were property to them. And some of them still think that you're property to them. Don't believe me? You can check that shit out. It's easy. You can check it out. They're doing all types of shit. They're mad. Only reason why these racist white folks are mad is because legally we're not property to them. But in their mind, we'll always be property to them. You see what I'm saying? That's how they think. So therefore, you have to step up and stand into your godhood or goddesshood and be like, listen, I ain't nobody's property, and I ain't worried about dying for this for my respect or my freedom. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as you hear the word die, y'all niggas want to know, well, give it to God. I'm not giving it to no mystery God, man. You can do that if you want. I'm not doing that shit. I'm gonna stand up for mine. You don't want to stand up for yours? That's on you. You want to believe in some deity that's not going to help you, hasn't helped you at all, no evidence that it will help you at all for something like this? Come on, man. These are children you're talking about. You ain't going to protect your children? Y'all talk a lot of shit when a black person bumps into your children in the mall or something, but you'll never step up to a white man that literally is trafficking your children. They're the ones coming up with the money to do the shit. There's a lot of black people probably involved in that nasty shit. There's a lot of Indians and Arabs and all these other people that are involved in it now because they paid off so many people that it doesn't even matter what race you are now. You can't trust nobody. But where did that shit come from? I've been telling y'all where this shit came from for years. You know what I'm saying? And even with the Epstein camp, y'all ignore these things. Y'all talk about the Epstein camp and the island and all that, but you don't really talk about it like you're supposed to. You don't really push the envelope because most of those people on that list are freaking Caucasian, white bread people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Most of them are Caucasoid, fucking white, Caucasus Mountain, Flugerod ass, Halabian white folks. You know what I'm saying? And for those white folks that are not into it, this ain't about you. We're talking about the ones that are into that nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? The ancestry of those people that are into that nasty shit. I'm telling you. And y'all talk about black folks like dogs because you want to believe that this is the black man's nature. That's why, look at the shit with Diddy. I know Diddy did that shit. Of course he did it. He's a weirdo just like everybody else, right? But you know what I mean? And there's evidence that he did it. If you have evidence, you can't say nothing if there's evidence, right? But you're quick to pull that evidence out. How many bloggers are on Diddy's nuts about this shit, right? And rightfully so. He deserves to get that fucking shit exposed, right? How many of y'all put blogs out about Harvey Weinstein with evidence? This dude had evidence. How many of y'all really went against the grain on Harvey Weinstein? Not a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all are cowards. Y'all ain't gonna sit there and talk about Harvey Weinstein because, one, he is Jewish. And y'all are afraid of Jewish people. For some reason, you're afraid of people that stole your culture. You see how I could just say that shit? Because I'm not worried about them. You know what I mean? There's two different leagues that protect them. The JDL, you know what I'm saying? And then the ADL. Y'all are afraid of them because they'll try to make your life hell and try to destroy you. Well, guess what? They can't destroy the original people. So y'all need to be more aware. Y'all need to be more caring of your own people and start looking. I'm not saying not to expose black folks for doing nasty shit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need to get at these white dudes that actually created this shit. They doing a lot more than we do. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that guy. I mean, it's not going to be on TV. They didn't even put it on TV. I didn't even know about it till I saw the video. Right? And they're not going to do it. They're not going to, listen, they're not going to do it. You're going to find out about that shit 25 years later. You know what I'm saying? That, oh, this dude, how many of y'all knew that Donald Trump was messing with young girls? How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew that? You didn't know that. You know why you didn't know that? Because you're looking for everything now because of what he's saying now. Listen, I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I'm not a Joe Biden fan. I'm not a fucking none of these people's fan. I don't trust none of these motherfuckers. I don't put my life into none of them. I don't put my community into none of them. It doesn't matter to me. If you support them as politicians, that's your business. But I know the history on these people that you need to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Elvis. Y'all like Elvis. He married a young girl. Jerry Lee Lewis, famous for marrying like his younger cousin or something like shit like that. She was like 14. These are the people that you don't even put on blast, but you want to put you put R. Kelly on blast, not realizing that the people around R. Kelly were just as negative as he was. You didn't say nothing about these people that let him get away with that shit. They let him get away with that. If they was really so righteous, they crying now after Aaliyah had been dead for like 23 years. You know what I'm saying? And freaking R. Kelly's in jail for like 30 or more years, right? Y'all crying now. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all should have called him out and beat his ass for that shit back then. You know what I mean? The Nation of Islam would have whooped your ass for that shit. If they found out you fucking with some young girls or whatever, depending on the time, because I don't know what goes on inside, but I know some Nation of Islam members, they whoop your ass if you start fucking around with the kids, man. Even back then in the Ansars, and I know y'all like to talk shit about Malachi doing all that shit, but there's no evidence that he did that shit, and they recanted their statements, and y'all ignored that shit just to have a story against Malachi. You get your ass whooped fucking around in the tribe, fucking around with kids and shit. You know what I mean? If they find out about it. So, again, and y'all can rebuttal all the shit you want, I don't care. It is what it is. But understand, you have to fight this shit on all levels. All levels. You notice some shit, you address that shit, and you deal with it. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with this guy from the Pentagon, but the reason why it's not publicized is because he got the complexion for protection. That's what it is. So that's my thoughts on it, man. This is A and B, African Man Born, a random rant of the day. This is episode 4. Stay tuned for Random Rant of the Night. And also stay tuned for the God MC mixtape coming January 1st. Also the Truth News coming in January. Also the Kwanzaa celebration, Imani, the show with the Hip Hop Beyonders will be there, and I'll be releasing my CD there. Also, what else is going on? Oh yeah, Verbalization. December 13th, I'll be co-hosting with VCR. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. All right, in 2024, Beyonders is moving ahead. Everybody. All right. So with that being said, I'm off this. Peace.